We are backed by Hexa. In 7 months, we brought 70% web traffic from our country.
I think it was a huge cultural shock for me. Once I was there, I was like, oh my god. I wanted to prove it to the world, and I was like, I don't want to spend the rest of my life feeling this way.
I was too scared to break the stereotype and noticed you have broken. What have you taken from your grandfather?
You have to put out good things in the universe.
I think fight जिंदगी में उसे की है. What are those 2-3 things which inspires you the most?
I was allowed to do everything.
What made your parents trust you?
Worst decision ever.
And I saw my dad cry for the first time in front of me. And I felt, wow. Do you think anyone can stop you?
Maybe let's just send that email and give this a shot.
Creators, are they Nazar Bhattu as well?
Do you want an honest answer?
What?
It's not like एक reel ही तो shoot करना है. No.
Can I ask a controversial question? What's a rule book or the playbook to make a reel viral? What makes this industry toxic?
Getting too deep into the number game. It's very hard to stay relevant.
What's a parallel world of nepotism in the creator economy?
More than men, women are told not to do. There are more restrictions.
Hi everyone. This is Ajitesh Gupta, co-founder and CEO of Crowd. Crowd is a social media platform for investors and traders, and we are here to democratize financial discussions. And the one problem that we are solving is denoising finance. What does it mean to denoise finance? It means that when in our country, where we have the highest retail investor population, which is of 200 million people are succumbing to stock tips being given on Telegram, being given on WhatsApp, and a person's hard earned money is lost because they trust some era gera nathu gera on Telegram or WhatsApp. We are here to remove that. We are here to show you what is credible, who are the credible voices, and how do you escape the people who are willing to scam you for some trading session, for some stock tip. So that's what Crowd does. We started 1.5 years back. We are backed by Hexa and around 24 investors in total. Our roots are from Belgium, Brussels, and London, United Kingdom. We brought it to India because meri Janam Bhumi Karam Bhumi Bharat thi. In 7 months, we brought 70% web traffic from our country. Enough incentive for European investors to put the second slot of money in. And so far, we have around 50,000 plus downloads. We have a team of 50 plus people, a pre-series A round that we are doing right now, and a multi-million-dollar valuation. ये सब पॉसिबल तभी होता जब मैं एक भारतीय हूँ, जब मैं एक देश से आता हूँ जहाँ पे डाइवर्सिटी इज़ अप्रिशिएटेड, प्लूरलिज्म इज़ इंग्रेन्ड एंड अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ आर इन अबंडेंस. सो इट वाज जस्ट द राइट टाइमिंग एंड ये मेरा सौभाग्य है कि मैं एक आई थिंक भारतीय, मैं एक इंडियन सिटीज़न हूँ. दिस इज़ वॉट आई डू, दिस इज़ वॉट क्राउड डज. And today, as part of the Arthavad initiative, we have a very amazing guest, Miss Guneet. And इनका परिचय, इनका इंट्रोडक्शन मैम खुद देगी. So yes, please, over to you.
Thank you. इतना लंबा परिचय तो नहीं है मेरा.
Yes.
I am just Guneet. But yeah, thank you so much for having me on the podcast. And yeah, I am Guneet Kaur Baveja, and I am currently working as an influencer social media manager. And yeah, that's that. And I would love to talk about, how I landed here, and my journey, because as by my degree, I am an engineer. So I'm a double major in data science and mathematics. So yeah, that's that.
Perfect.
Yep.
So I think as a starter, हम कहाँ मिले? We are at a dinner and socially met. We are a common friend, common friend.
Common friend.
And we're just talking, and synergies were built around our backgrounds. When I say background, it means subjective to the education that we have gotten. I've been educated in the UK for my undergrad and postgrad, and
And
Guneet,
I've been educated
US.
in the US.
Yes.
Just for my undergrad.
Undergrad, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go back. Let's go back in time, 2018.
Hmm.
When you went to USA, how
Yeah.
was it like?
Oh my God. That feels like a long time ago, yet it's like the memories are like so recent in my mind. I think it was a huge cultural shock for me, for somebody like me, because I was that complete nerd, the class topper,
Wow.
Although I was into like all the co-curriculars, I was the president of the debating club, the drama society, doing all of that. But still, I was this person who did not have a lot of exposure to, like stuff like going out or like, having a work life or education life balance, so to say. I was very, very into that. Okay, I have to get like a 98%. I have to be like very competitive with my peers and stuff like that. And once I was there, I was like, oh my God, you can be the class topper and you
Mm.
can be this like social butterfly.
Oh.
Because my roommate, a freshman year, was an American. She was a biology major, and I was like, okay, you can do a biology major and not be a doctor, huh?
Yeah.
Because we have been told, we've been restricted to certain career paths, right? And you only know about certain things. But once I was there, like everything just like my brain just expanded. I had
Mm.
so much to absorb, so much information, so much to learn. um yeah, but it was a great, I would say,
Mm.
cultural shock, because I was able to understand so much more about my personality, about my interests. Initially, I was a computer science major, and I was like, this is the end of the world. I have to be a computer science
Mm.
engineer. If I don't, I fail in life. But eventually, by like sophomore year, I understood that I'm not enjoying coding as much as I am enjoying statistics and
Mm.
mathematics. So might as well go a little bit into that direction. And that's when I switched to data science. And I was like, okay, now I must take up the math thing as well, because the other day we were talking, right,
Mm.
that in school you usually hear from teachers, they make comments like, girls are not good at math and guys are better at math.
Mhm.
So I had this thing in my head. I was like, oh my God, data science is a little bit easier than computer science, so maybe I should challenge myself, take up another major, and just be like, okay guys, I'm doing a double major
Mm.
now, and I'm also doing math, which is something I'm good at, and I wanted to prove it to the world. And so I just like took it
Mm.
up, graduated with 2 degrees, started working as a data scientist at this company. I had a great package.
Not disclosed.
Yeah, undisclosed company. Um, and yeah, I had this great package and had an amazing time working with these people, exploring the American corporate culture. Um, Again, getting to learn so much about, working in a different country, having a work life balance, taking care of yourself, living all by your own, because
Mm.
the student life is like completely different, right? It's you just going from class to back to your dorm or your apartment or whatever. And then just chilling with friends on the weekends, and your parents are taking care of your expenses and stuff like that. But once you start working, it's again a huge cultural shock. You're like, oh my God,
Mm.
okay, I'm an adult now. I need to take care of what I'm eating.
Mm.
I need to do my groceries and all of that, do laundry on the weekends. So it suddenly hits you. And that's when I feel like I started feeling very homesick.
Mhm.
I started feeling like I was not meant to be here. I did not belong in this space. And I was like, I don't want to spend the rest of my life feeling this
Mm.
way.
Wow.
Right. And that's when I think, again, having very supportive parents
Mm.
helped me there as well. And it came into
Mm.
play. And my dad was like, just come back home. But I
Mm.
was like, see, I've always been this person that I have to prove myself. And I have to, I just had put that
Mm.
pressure upon myself, because my parents, my dad especially, was like,
Mm.
just get 60%. And we are like, okay with it. We don't care if
Yeah.
you're like topping or not. But I was like, no, but I have to. I will prove it to you. I'll show
Mm.
it to you that I can do
Wow.
this. So I was like, how can I come back home? Like,
Mm.
I am supposed to get the ROI,
Mm.
and I'm supposed to do this for myself. And what are other people going to say that, she had such a well paying job and now
Mm.
she's back and doing what, just figuring out life. And what does even figuring out life mean in
Mm.
India? It's like
Right.
you're doing nothing, you're just like
Mm.
chilling.
Right.
Um, so yeah, that happened. I came back to India, joined my
After working for how many years?
um a year,
Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting. So, I come from a typical Bania family. My mom's Punjabi Marwadi, my dad's a Bania.
Yeah.
Um, when you talked about stereotypes, you broke that every step, right?
Tried to.
Changing an undergraduate degree. इधर पूछो, it'll be a taboo. I'll be thrown out of the house कि भाई बेटा तुम कर क्या रहे हो?
क्या
So
रहे हो
that,
second year में याद
yeah,
आ रहा है, yeah.
yeah. And for me, even when I was in grade 11, I went to my dad and said, Dad, I don't want to do computer science. I want to do economics. And he's like, no, you have to do computer science. And I was too scared to break the stereotype, and I couldn't. I did computer science. Still, I hated it, but I had to, live with that stereotype. But then, of course, you get opportunities where you can do what you want to do, but at least the benchmark is set. And even let's say for your case, I'll take your case. In boards, you were expected to get 60%, as you mentioned by your father, and you were like 98% lana hai. So it's an anti-stereotype ki matlab you're like you're trying to prove to yourself, you're not trying to prove to others. Then undergraduate degree you changed midway. Then now what you do right now, which with respect to content creation, managing big content creators and influencers, I've seen and noticed you've broken glass ceilings everywhere. And not that at the age of 25, but maybe since you were 17 or 18. What is the cultural reason for this?
So as a kid, I think whatever experiences you go through and whatever you see around you, um, it's usually said that kids don't learn from what you say.
Hmm.
They learn from what they see you
Mhm.
doing. So
Mhm.
like parents, grandparents have to set examples for them. They have to do certain things so the kids in the family end up doing that. It's not like you can come up to like a 10-year-old and be like, it's good to read the newspaper every morning and you should not just like wake up and start watching Cartoon Network or like up to hota bhi nahi, I think Cartoon Network
Pogo TV.
nobody watches, yeah. Oswald, I used
Oswald,
to
I
watch
love it.
that a lot.
Yes. Loved.
Or like, you can't like wake up and just like start scrolling your iPad and stuff. You have to read the newspaper. If you tell them, they will never do it.
Yeah.
But if they see you doing that every day, for example, I saw my grandfather every day in the morning. He would wake up, he would have like 1 liter of water, that he would read the newspaper, he would go for a morning walk, do his yoga, like he had this entire morning routine. And I was this girl who used to like wake up early on the weekends because I was like so
Yeah.
habitual, it was a thing. My body clock was like that because you're waking up for school.
Right.
So on the weekends I used to wake up and my mother used to be like, can't you sleep for like 2 more hours? It's the weekend and we also need to sleep.
Yeah.
But I used to wake up and I saw him doing all of that, taking care of his body, reading the newspaper, just enhancing his knowledge, getting to know the world view, what's happening in the world, and then having an opinion on it later. Of course, if you're not aware of something, you cannot be a part of discussions or rooms,
Right.
where people are talking about those things. Then he used to come back, get ready, shower, and like properly get ready, dress up to go to the gurdwara, and then come home, have breakfast, and go to work. So I saw him having this entire morning routine, right? um then my mother used to keep telling me, when I was a little girl, that you have to stand on your own 2 feet. Like, she would not say it directly, but like she would like keep saying it in certain ways that, you have to have your own standing in the society. Education is a tool that, is going to be handy in the future and all of that stuff. So I think all of that just like kept piling up, that, I have to be a good person like my grandfather. I have to take care of my body. I have to do all of these things, read books, because he would like read me a lot of books and he was like, इससे vocabulary better hoti hai, ठीक है, तो रोज पढ़ना चाहिए. So stuff like that. I think when you see people around you doing all of that, you feel like you also need to level up in life. You need to reach a place. And then you just start like proving it to yourself. And you start putting that pressure upon yourself that, okay, I'm surrounded by these people who are telling me these things, it's in your subconscious, and who are doing things that are so great for them, and maybe then I should too. So I don't know if that answers your question correctly, but I feel like whatever I used to see in my surroundings, whatever my mom used to say, beach beach mein kabhi kabhi, she used to say all of these things. I think that just like stayed with me a lot.
Okay. So I believe very staunchly that we are derived people. we are in a way second-hand people. But of course, I do not want to generalize it to everyone. And of course, not every trait that we possess or we have is derived. We also have, specific individualism.
Yeah.
Uh, Now talking about this, 18 साल की उम्र तक we are exposed to our parents, and usually we derive most of our values from them, and that basically shapes our foundation to be set into the world, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about your parents. You have told me about your father's journey, you have told me about your grandfather's journey, but I want to understand from you, what have you taken from your grandfather, grandmother, mother and father?
See, grandfather, though, I think
Hmm.
I've like explained to you,
Yes.
that's a big chunk of it. Also, like him praying every day, I
Hmm.
feel like it's a huge part, like gratitude,
Hmm.
praying, just thanking God for not because you want something more, but because you already have a lot.
Hmm.
And it's very important to just go and say thank you once in
Hmm.
the morning, right? Um, so I feel like a lot of my cultural influence, religious understanding of Sikhism, um, everything comes from him and my mother,
Hmm.
of course. um, Other than that, all of these things,
Hmm.
read books, take
Hmm.
care of your body. From my grandmother, that's very interesting actually,
Hmm.
because my mother used to say this one thing about my grandmother. So I've never, she was the opposite of my grandfather.
Okay.
Yes, like they were
Uh-huh.
poles apart. I have never seen her go to the Gurdwara or do part.
Okay.
I've never seen her, like, exercise or take care of her body. She was a homebody.
Uh-huh.
She used to take care of the house, and I think everything um was running properly because of her,
Hmm.
because she was that one person, like the umbrella figure in the house, that was taking care of everyone, everybody's needs,
Right.
everything. And this one time, my mother and I were having this conversation. I think it was after my grandmother passed away,
Oh.
um, a while after that. And I was asking her, I was like, but I've never seen Dadi do part in the
Hmm.
morning. Like, Dadu was so regular with it. But aren't like husband and wife, usually they get like influenced by
Some
each other?
resonance, yeah.
She was like, but you know what? She was still admired by everyone. She was still so blessed. Do you know why? Because her part was she never said bad things about anyone.
Hmm. Wow.
उन्होंने कभी भी किसी की चुगली नहीं करी,
Hmm.
किसी के बारे में कुछ बुरा नहीं बोला. She was so committed, so like
Hmm.
she was so giving to her family, that was her puja, that
Quite
was her
interesting.
part. And I was like,
Hmm.
okay, wow.
Hmm.
And when you read all of these books, one of my favorite books is The Four Agreements.
Okay.
And one agreement says you have to put out good things in the universe. You have to say good things. Gossiping equals to black magic. It literally says
Really?
that.
Wow.
It literally says that.
Like you bear the black magic or you are doing the black magic?
You are doing it
Okay,
on yourself,
wow. Oh, wow.
because
Okay.
you are bringing bad karma to yourself.
Right.
And if you say good things about anyone or yourself, it's white magic. So
Oh,
it gives you those two terms, black magic,
mm,
white magic.
wow.
Not the typical black magic that people
Right.
talk about, but it's like if you gossip about people, it's like you're doing the worst thing ever for yourself.
Really. Wow.
You're putting it upon yourself. And that's when I was like, yeah, like
Mm.
just going there, maybe like sitting at the Gurdwara, or like these days I feel like people a lot of people don't want to post about it, but a lot of people also post
Post
about
about
it
it,
to
yeah.
look cool,
Yeah.
that okay, hum dharmik hai. So I feel like not doing all of that and just being a
Mm.
good person is all it takes at the end of the
Mm.
day.
Right.
So everybody has their own ways. It's not
Mm.
like you have to wake up early in the morning and do your part, or
Mm.
just go to the Gurdwara every day.
Mm.
If you're doing good things, if you're being a good person, helping other people, not saying bad things about other people, that's your reward, that's your part,
बिल्कुल सही
that's your
कह रहे हो.
everything.
और यही धर्म सारे धर्म यही कहते हैं. And I think I really love the parallels that your grandmother especially created. Is that इंसान जब पाठ करता है, it's concentrated within a specific time frame, but the preaching of the meaning behind that part has to resonate your
Exactly.
everyday life.
Exactly.
Every second that you are awake, It
Yeah.
has to resonate that. I think that's a really interesting take on life, like specifically. Have you noticed something that resonance of these and an amalgamation of, let's say, being more religious, being more spiritual, being more giving, has a correlation with increasing age?
Mm, kind of.
Kind of. Because, I at times wonder. So, at least, this is the way I love to learn certain things in life. I love talking to people who are, let's say, above 50, above 60, who are, let's say, a generation or two generations old, even people who are 80 or 90. And I look at what they are doing right now actively, which they didn't do, let's say, the previous generation is doing then. And I think that if I do what they're doing then maybe I can be little better off, let's
Mm-hmm.
say, spiritually, let's say, financially. I don't know what it is,
Mm.
uh, but I can bear the fruits of it much later. It's very difficult to preach it today. Let's say if you're two generations younger, as someone who's doing that thing when they're 80 or 90. For me, I'll give you an example. Like meditation is something. Like
Mm.
I've noticed my elder generation,
Yeah.
one generation elder, and two generations older to me, they are doing meditation actively, and I'm like, why not I take that into play? Okay, I did see a difference. Being more religious, not for the sake of being religious, but really showing the resonance with your religion. I think that is something which did change me a
But
lot.
how could you like give me an example? How do you think they're being more religious?
I think if I were to say that, let's say the materialistic or the materialism of the world, they're getting away from it.
Hmm.
As one grows old, they're like,
Maybe because they've seen it.
they've seen it exactly.
Yeah.
They've they कहते हैं उसका सुख भोग लिया है उन्होंने उस समय तक.
Yeah.
And when you're young, you want to bhog as much sukh as you can. And when I say sukh, I am actually speaking in a combined manner of both joy and pleasure. So what happens is, when we are young, we confuse joy and pleasure.
Okay.
And when you're older, since you have tasted that joy or pleasure, you now are able to segment it into this is joy, this is pleasure. So, for example, vacations are something which is not joy. After you experience the vacation, it is pleasure. May I tell you how?
Yeah.
So, let's
Because
say,
I was
yeah, so everyone
thinking,
wants
yeah.
to go for vacations.
Hmm.
I don't blame them. But what happens when you go for vacations? You forget what you have with you in the past. You forget the strings attached to you. Let's say you forget your work, you forget your, commitments in life with respect to certain responsibilities, not personal, but let's say from a professional angle, and you feel liberated, right?
Yeah.
But once you're done with that vacation, you're just reminiscing about that vacation. And when there's repetition of joy, because at that moment you are joy, you have joy, you're joyous, uh, you're challenged. But when you want to repeat that, that is pleasure. And that is what actually builds that cycle, which is a vicious cycle of pleasure, pleasure,
Pleasure.
pleasure, pleasure, pleasure.
And you're chasing that all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
सो कहते हैं कि लोग मेडिटेशन क्या है, मेडिटेशन इज़ नॉट समवेयर कि आप एटलीस्ट दैट्स माई सब्जेक्टिव व्यू ऑफ इट, कि पहाड़ पे जाके आप आग बंद करके मेडिटेट करो. मेडिटेशन कैन बी ऑफ 1000 डिफरेंट टाइप्स, बट इन फैक्ट इट इज़ फाइंडिंग अ लिटिल पीसफुल बबल in the chaos, amidst the chaos. I think for me that is meditation, and it can be
True.
anything that you do. So now that I see, and being frank with you, I just realize it right now. When we are young, when we are experiencing the world, like when do we experience the world? Let's say when we are 18, when we go do our
Step out
yeah,
into
step
the
out,
world.
exactly.
School is over.
Yes, so we
Yeah.
are testing the world, back testing ki ye hum hai, wo hum hai, and you're a completely changed person, right?
Hmm.
Because maybe you were forced to be someone, and then you are not that because that's not your natural self.
Mm-hmm.
And then you test. So pleasure joy, I think fight जिंदगी में उसी की है, कि किससे आपको जॉय मिलता है, किससे आपको
किससे आपको
प्लेजर
pleasure
मिलता है.
मिलता है?
जहाँ पे आपको आइडेंटिफाई हो गया आपको इससे जॉय मिलता है, इट इज सब्जेक्टिव, इट इज रियली सब्जेक्टिव टू यू. Pleasures are common, and joy is proper. That's what I
Yeah.
feel.
And everybody's trying to just chase
Yeah.
those few pleasures that are
Pleasures.
known of.
Yes.
Get a big house, get a
Yes.
nice car,
Yeah.
all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Precisely.
that's
S-
true.
So yeah, that's what I feel this is there. But let's come to your mother.
Yeah.
What is that? What are those 2 3 things which inspires you the most?
Okay. I think she is one of the bravest,
Okay.
not women, person, one
Person.
of the
Okay.
bravest person I've met in my entire life.
Wow.
And she is like my best friend. I think all daughters say their mothers are their best friends, but I think for me, like in the truest sense, if there's like one person I feel like something good is happening, something bad is happening, something isn't happening at all, like the first person I would like pick up the phone and call would be my mother and tell her, because I know that she is the only person who will give me an honest opinion, the best advice.
Mm.
She would not be, it wouldn't be a biased advice. And whatever she's saying will be the best for me.
Okay.
So I feel like I can trust her completely. And it also comes from a place of having given me the freedom, like that stands for both my parents. I feel like they're people I can share anything with, and it comes from a mindset that they had very early on in their lives, which a lot of parents, like a lot of people from their generation, did not have. Like I could see my friends did not have as much freedom as I did.
Mm.
Maybe this reminds me of your earlier question, maybe when I was trying to answer
Mhm.
why was I taking all that pressure on
Right.
myself, and where did that come from that I have to break these glass ceilings. I think because I was given so much freedom and so many opportunities, I was allowed to do everything. So I had this responsibility, or I had like just taken that responsibility upon myself, that if I have been given so much that other people are not being given, if I
Mm.
have been given this privilege, this freedom, that I can make my own choices,
Mm.
why not make the best ones?
Right.
Right? Why not make the ones that make my parents proud,
Mm.
who are, doing everything for me,
Mm.
who are supporting me through everything.
Mm.
When I wanted to go study abroad, my mom was like, because my dad was like, कि क्या करना है अभी जाके, you're so young. Like he was
Mm.
very worried about how I would survive in a foreign land all alone.
Mm.
He was like, US is like a 12-hour, 13-hour flight, even if we take a direct flight. And God forbid anything happens, it'll take us
Mm.
an entire day to reach you.
Right.
So he was very worried about all of those things. And for somebody like me who was a very, I was an extrovert, I was everywhere, but how do you say it? I was not like that person who's going out with friends late at night, or like chilling, or who has seen that world, who
Mm.
has faced these
Right.
things in Delhi. So he was like, East Coast to or New York
Mm.
jaoge, Penn State jaoge. It's like it
Mm.
can be very tricky for you to manage, and
Right.
what if you're not able to manage? But my mom stood by me like a rock, and she was like supporting me. She was like, kar legi,
Mm.
abhi itna kuch kara hai. She's managed so many things at school, she's been the head girl, and she's taken care of so many things, to ye bhi ho jayega.
Mm.
uh, we just have to trust her. So that trust, I feel, when your parents have it in you, when they give you the freedom, the liberty to do anything and everything that you want to do with your life, I feel you become this person who wants to prove it to them, to yourself, to the
Mm.
society, that okay, I was given this opportunity and I did not waste it.
Mm.
So I think I get that from her. Like she has
Wow.
always stood by me.
What made your parents trust you? What ऐसे क्या आपने कर्म करे कि जिसकी वजह से वो आपको ट्रस्ट करते हैं? मेरे
मैं
पे तो
बहुत शरीफ बच्ची थी स्कूल
रियली
में,
अच्छा
प्यारी सी शरीफ सी,
हेड गर्ल या
हेड गर्ल,
टॉपर
पढ़ाकू, और
या
मतलब और क्या चाहिए होता है पेरेंट्स को,
या
कि टीचर्स अच्छी बातें कर रहे हैं, they're only saying nice things about you, there are no complaints about you, you have nice friends, हाँ, and you like like you're good at everything that
या
you're trying to do. I think it's very important to
Yeah, मैं honestly like at least in my life in school I was a very above average kid, like मैं top 10 में नहीं, like at least top 15-20 में तो आ जाता था, 40 लोगों मतलब बिल्कुल बीच में, मतलब थोड़ा बीच से better.
okay, हाँ.
My parents never used to trust me. They're like नहीं, until 22 or 23 I never sat in a friend's car. My parents never allowed that. They think कि मतलब गाड़ी अगर कोई दोस्त चला रहा है तो ठोकेगा ही वो तो
That's such
but
a,
yeah,
but that's such a thing.
yeah, it's a thing. That's like one instance. Then second is that when I used to be in the library when I was at University of Edinburgh or Imperial, like either undergrad or masters, हो जाता library में, like I used to leave at 3 or 4 a.m. My
Yeah.
parents were like, and I'm like, यार बस ले लेके क्या हो गया, 1.5-2 pound की
Did it have
बस
your
है.
location?
हाँ,
Did it have your location?
I'm
No.
not giving them my location. अरे listen, अगर दे दो तो अगर कहीं रात को कभी अगर कहीं बाहर जाओ, they'll be paranoid, they
You
won't
know,
sleep
mine
only.
had, and
अच्छा.
I only installed it in their phones. I was like, you keep my location.
Yeah.
Because I became such a party person. वहाँ जाके I was
Oh,
like, you all just keep my
अच्छा.
location.
नहीं, but you know, for me, I still have paranoia. Like my parents don't have my location because you know, I don't know. कहीं आ जाए वहाँ पे, they'll question because you know that shakka angle.
What were you doing?
No, I'm
कि वो
not.
आ जाएंगे and then they'll
I'm not
question.
doing anything. It's just like, you know, I don't know. I think it sounds in totality very wrong, but you know, it's just कोई कहीं ना कहीं शक की निगरानी रहती है कि यार बेटा कोई मैं कुछ नहीं कर रहा हूँ
कभी वो location is
या
at a bar for like
या
3 hours.
पर मैं हूँगा बार के साइड में एक
Exactly. It's not
बुक
always
शॉप पे
accurate.
एंड
Yeah.
दे लाइक नो बेटा तुम बार में थे अब कैसे मैं आई एम जस्ट
Yeah.
यू नो मेसिंग
हाँ,
अराउंड
हाँ, no.
बट यस सो मेरे को हमेशा शक की निगरानी से देखा गया लाइक जैसे लाइब्रेरी से निकला नहीं take a cab and it's like you know if some pralay and I think that's a protective nature as well for parents अगर कोई प्रलय होती है जिंदगी में सबसे पहला विक्टिम मैं ही हूँगा उसका you know कि अगर एडिनबरा में
हमारा बच्चा.
या अगर
Yeah.
150 किलोमीटर एडिनबरा से दूर अगर कोई मान लो कोई दिक्कत होती है लाइक आर यू सेफ मैं आई एम 150 kilometers away but I think that's a protective side of it but I can presume your parents trusted you with things where it might be difficult for any other person to handle it but so exactly like of course studies were there but do you think like okay tell me one thing from your early childhood what are certain instances which made them say ah, this girl is way mature than her age
Oh my God. Okay, I think a lot.
koi ek you know
Koi-
that was like
Yeah, I was
the
see my
breaker
dad is like the eldest, the older one in his family. So I was
okay
you know the person who was the firstborn of the family, pampered by everyone. And as I grew up, you know, all my cousins, all my aunts and all used to be like, okay, she'll take care of them. You know, if we are
oh
going somewhere,
okay
she'll take care of them. So I think bachpan se I had that thing that, you know, I was like always taking care of the younger ones. I was always there. I used to do my cousins like holiday homework, my brothers, all of this like, and you know, like my brother, तो उसे तो मैंने मार के इतना पढ़ाया है ना,
अच्छा
especially maths and science, because
yeah
so I think a lot of things, yeah, it's hard to like point a few,
yeah
but I feel like I was very mature and very responsible from a very young age.
Mhm.
And honestly, being pampered and being the first child of the family, I was also very spoiled.
okay
So there was always a balance.
okay
क्योंकि अगर मैंने कुछ बोल दिया, because if I said that I want to go to the States and I don't want to study in India, although I was preparing for IIT,
right
I was doing my preps, but suddenly I had this thing that no, I don't want to be a part of this rat race.
Hmm.
Not because IITs are not good enough, but I thought I was not good enough to, you know, survive this
Hmm.
rat race that there is. And, you know, it's like so competitive that it
Right.
might like destroy my mental health and
Hmm.
stuff. So I was like, I want to go somewhere where I can explore other opportunities as well. So, you know, coming back to your question, I was always very ziddi also that, you know,
Okay.
if I want something, I want it. And I used to find my ways. So I
Hmm.
think maybe they saw it there that she's very creative with,
Hmm.
you know, finding her ways. And if she wants something, she will either work hard, convince us, you know, do something to get that done. And she not
Right.
be like, acha, nahi ho raha hai ya mana kar diya hai, to let it be. I'll just give up. I had that mentality that I'm not giving up.
Okay.
Come
Wow.
what may.
Then that's really good.
Yeah.
So let's briefly touch upon your life in US. So tell me how was it different from what you had in India? Let's start with your friends.
So you know, a very interesting thing happened to me as soon as it was my first day of orientation, and my orientation leader was an Indian, right? But he was a fifth year senior, so he was a super senior. Because he was also doing a double major or something, so he had to like stretch it, and he was a super senior, and he had this full on accent and stuff. So I assumed that, you know, he's an Indian American. Later when we all started chatting, he was like, no, I'm from Mumbai. I was like, okay, maybe like a typical Sobo boy or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
And that's why he has, like, his American accent was so American.
Hmm.
Like, he was more white than a white person.
Really?
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
And I couldn't, like, I was like, okay, Mumbai, but like, how do you have that accent? And, I don't see any Indian friends of yours, once he started taking all of us out with him. Because, he was so new. So he used to take us out for like dinner and stuff. Ki chalo, all of us will go together and you will get to meet new people and feel less homesick. I was like, I never see any of your Indian friends. He was like, because I don't have any Indian friends. I was like, but how can you not have any Indian
Hmm.
friends? Like, you're from Mumbai and
Yeah.
you're this desi guy, right? Like, how can you not have any Indian friends? Even Indian Americans have Indian American
Right,
friends,
right,
right?
right.
So he was like, tell me one thing, Guneet. Are you here to just be friends with brown people and surround yourself with brown people? Why did you leave India? Don't you want to
Hmm.
like get to know more people from the US, from other countries, and just broaden your horizon and not just be stuck with
Right.
the Indian community and
Hmm.
celebrating Diwali with them, celebrating Holi with them? Don't you want to explore how the American university life is? Don't you want to be a part of a sorority or
Hmm.
something? I was like, okay, that's pushing it
Hmm.
way too much. Matlab, his words left something in me, and I was like, yeah, maybe if I start making Indian friends, it'll just be like I'm
Hmm.
back in India, back
Hmm.
home, and I don't have enough exposure. I don't have any American friends. I don't have friends from other countries. Maybe I should not make Indian friends.
Okay.
That's what I decided as an
Hmm.
18-year-old. Worst decision ever, honestly, because you need familiar people.
Hmm.
You need to have people
Hmm.
from the same culture to be able to survive in a new country, because they're going to be your family at the end of the
Right.
day. They're going to help you if you're missing home on Diwali and stuff. But for the first 2 years I was like, okay, I'll just join the International Student Council, क्योंकि सबसे ज़्यादा अलग अलग countries के लोग, where else will you find,
Yeah.
right? The International Student Council has students from all the countries, and I was so into that. I then became the president,
Hmm.
vice president, president, ran for the elections and stuff like that. Um, until I fell very sick one day, and my American roommate was like, I have some
Hmm.
business I need to take
Hmm.
care of. And like everybody bailed on me, and I was like, who do I have to like
For the
take?
student club.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Like my roommate was American,
Okay.
so she had to do something else. Like
Acha, okay,
she
okay,
was like, I
okay.
can't stay here and take care of you.
Okay, okay.
And I was like, I feel so alone
Hmm.
in this country.
Yeah.
Like, where do I go now? And then I called one of my friends that again I met at orientation, who was an Indian. She was like one of my first friends. And she came to help me. But
Oh.
we had lost touch, and she came to help me, and I was like, oh my God,
Hmm.
maybe I was doing this wrong. Maybe I was not able to, I was not looking for friends. I was
Yeah.
just building a network,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
And that's not how it's supposed to be. But I think that's a very big difference that I see in the US versus India. Even if if you're networking in India, you're not like cold with that person outside of that network.
Right.
You still become sort of friends in India, and you're there to help
Hmm.
each other. I think जैसे दिल्ली बोलते हैं
Hmm.
दिल वालों की, I think
Hmm.
Indians are a little soft hearted like that. If they see anybody in trouble,
Hmm.
they will go and help. If they're there for each other, and they have more of this community feeling
Hmm.
in them. I'm not saying white people are not
Hmm.
warm or whatever, because I did end up making a lot of good friends,
Hmm.
international students, American students. But yeah, I feel like that was a huge difference, and I realized how important it is to have that one familiar face that you spot
Yeah.
in the crowd, and you're like, okay, that's my person. We come from the same country.
Hmm.
We share the same background, right? The
Right.
same culture. So yeah, and maybe we have the same struggles. I
Right.
feel like it's so important to relate with somebody's struggles. Like my
Hmm.
American friends would never understand what it means to be an international student,
Hmm.
trying to be able to find a job, trying to be able to get visa sponsorship. That's so hard. They don't understand why we get rejected, like why we get 200 rejections because
Mm.
companies are not willing to sponsor
Sponsor
international
you.
students,
Yeah.
right? So I think going to America made me feel more close to my own country, my own culture. I saw we had this Bhangra club at Penn State, and I was like, मैंने life में कभी नहीं सोचा होगा that I will be a part of a
Um,
Bhangra club. Like
uh-huh.
I've never done that,
Right.
and I was not so close to my religion, so close to my culture, not my
Mm.
religion, but my culture. Like this is very like things people do in Punjab and not in
Yeah.
Delhi, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would have never imagined, but the kind of dedication these Indian American Punjabis had, the kind of connection that they had with the culture, I felt like staying away from home, I think brings you closer
To
to
home.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Certainly. Um, 100%. I think I can't put it better than you did. On
Was it the same in the UK?
Well, yes, but my starting point was completely opposite. So I'll tell you, never stayed alone. My parents are very, very protective. They still are.
Yeah.
So they were like very paranoid. And I saw my parents cry for the first time when they left. So basically, we were at the hotel, and now it was my turn. We checked out, and my I was going to the hostel and where I was staying, and it was like a complex, like it was a campus of hostels,
Yeah.
and I had no friends. And then on the other side, my parents were leaving for airport. Two taxis were supposed to come. My taxi came first, so I put my bag in the taxi, and it was a van. Then we shut the door, and my parents were outside. And then yeah, I left for hostel, and then I saw my dad cry for the first time in front of me. My life was shattered there. Like, because you're 18, and for the
Yeah.
first time in your life you're seeing a dad cry like that. You
Yeah.
you just couldn't digest that, right? Because
Yeah.
it felt like my world was tearing apart like that. My mother stood there strong, but she was also crying a lot, right? I could not see her tears. I could see my dad's tears, but my mom was, I could see her, body, mind, soul crying. So, and I was like, shit, no, this is like, how
Wow.
how much worse can it get? And my parents were like, we will drop you. I'm like, no, I had to do this because wahan ke like it'll be worse,
Worse.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, let's take the step here.
Mm.
By then I had no friends. It was like in the third day. Orientation bhi nahi hua tha hamara.
Mm.
Then while on the way, we had this Indian group, Indian students ka group chat,
Yeah.
right?
We were.
Hamesha
Oh
hota
my
hai.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thankfully I was not a part of it because they did like meetups in Delhi before leaving, and I was like, thank God I did not do this because it was very very lame.
But I in Delhi also, I just went to one and there were like very few people. So I'm like, kahan hai log Indians hamare?
Yeah.
So I texted on that group, but there were like good 40-50 people. And I texted, I'm verbatim saying this. I don't think a lot of people in my life know this. So I said, guys, uh, I'm feeling very lonely. I'm crying right now. My parents have left. And it's in front of 50 people.
You've written that
I've written
text.
that on the group
Oh my
chat.
God, takes
I-
courage.
yeah. And I'm like, listen, and I'm crying. I'm lonely. If anyone is free and if anyone shares the same feeling, I'll be there outside the reception of the hostel. Let's meet up and something like that. You know how many? There are like 10 people who showed up. And I thought
Wow.
no one would show up. And then I
Wow.
realized one thing. What you said, that struggles build familiarity. Everyone was struggling with the same thing. It was
Yeah.
just not there out, like not out there. And I felt, wow, world is not as complex as you think it is. It is very simple, and you can kind of anticipate what the other person is going through. It is
Yeah.
not that you are just going through it. It is
Exactly.
almost every single person is going through it.
You
If
just voiced it. And
yes,
so many people resonated with it.
exactly.
That's why they showed up.
And that 10 people later in the night was literally the entire Indian population there at University of Edinburgh. Can you imagine that one text brought everyone
Insane.
together? Like, I was like, it's so important to just put a little voice out there. People would come, people would resonate.
But it takes so much to be that level of
It does.
vulnerable.
Yeah.
So where did you get it in yourself? Like how at such a young age? Because
Yeah.
usually kids are like kids that age, and like especially coming
Hmm.
from Delhi, you're like very egoistic. And as the guy, you're always like, I'm not gonna cry, and I
Yeah.
never get emotional, and
Yeah.
nothing like bothers me. So
yeah.
how did you get that courage?
I think I just like to be raw that way, being very frank with you. I've built the deepest relationships, deepest friendships based on vulnerability. See, deep anything deep is based on certain vulnerabilities, right?
Yeah.
And of course, it takes time to be vulnerable, but I think it was very circumstantial as well because there is also a time to be vulnerable. Like maybe if I had put that text 2 weeks later, no one would have showed up because
Yeah.
right there and then like you know the iron was very hot in the sense that people were feeling that void, right?
Yeah.
But the question that you asked me, how did I feel being vulnerable? Being honest with you, I don't shy from being vulnerable. I don't shy from being emotional. And I have never put myself in that basket or bucket ki, guys can't be vulnerable.
Mhm.
And, this has been one of the biggest reasons of my life to have such a large group of friends who are girls.
Maybe you
Yeah,
like that female,
yeah,
feminine energy
yeah. Like,
gets you.
it does because see, it's mostly stereotypical too. Because when you live in a very patriarchal society in our
Yeah.
country,
Mhm.
as a guy, you are, nudged and maybe even forced to look strong. But are you
Yeah.
really strong? But then if I am not showing what I'm really not, then I'll have a breaking point one day or the other. So
Exactly.
why not be vocal with your true self? And if that becomes your outer self, then do you think anyone can stop you? I don't think anyone can stop you because there's no facade. And I do fear people who have no facade because they are, I feel, the toughest to, shake.
Yeah,
And
they're not scared of
they're not
anything. They have
scared of
nothing to
anything.
hide.
Yeah, because they'll
Yeah.
be transparent. They'll be like, I'll be this, I am this, I'll show you that I'm this. And I have learned that from the very beginning. When I read books, when admired certain personalities. So I'm like, why not I be that? So I
Yeah.
started taking initiatives of being that since I was early in life, like 18, let's say. But yes, going forward, maybe that one message, I realized one thing. Vulnerability creates familiarity,
Yeah.
or struggles create familiarities. I saw that the Indian cohort at University of Edinburgh is very, secluded, isolated. It's grouped in patches,
Yeah.
and there was no Indian society in University of Edinburgh. And then I was like,
None.
none. Yeah, there was a
Okay.
society for South Asia or something, and I'm like,
Oh, we
I'll
had
take
one too,
you
South
South
Asian
Asia,
community.
and
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll take the initiative. In my second year, first year I had birthed the idea of building an Indian society. Second year I built the Indian society. Like we floated the form. There were like 500 plus people who I didn't know 500 people were there also in University of Edinburgh who were
Yeah.
Indians.
Yeah.
And yeah, we formed the Indian society and we used to have holy events, Diwali events,
Insane.
and I think that was the biggest thing because when I think it's with respect to every country you come from. If you're in another country, there's a void that you leave. There's because you're in an unknown land, right? There's no
Of course.
security because your
Yeah.
passport doesn't say you're a British citizen. It says you're an Indian citizen. So I think the cultural resemblance, resonance is very, very important. So yeah, so Indian society was there. But of course, uh, when you asked me the question, was the experience same? It was a little different because in undergrad, I didn't have many friends who were non-Indians. Mostly they were Indians, and I had the best time. I
Yeah.
missed those times. But when I was at Imperial, it was little different. Maybe because I already had the experience of living in the UK, so I was rather comfortable,
Yeah.
right? So I had a blend of both. So I had non-Indian
Which is
friends,
great.
yeah,
Which is always
yeah.
great.
But now let's get deep into the work that we do.
Yeah.
Now you are into the content creation bit. You have built brands. Do you want to give us context of what you really do right now with respect
Yeah.
to your personal life and the managerial work that you do?
Yeah. So personal bit, yeah, we'll come to that later.
Yeah.
But so I like it was very accidental. I met this content creator who's like an A-lister, has over 1 million followers at a party,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Yeah. And then we just spoke briefly. Um, and yeah, then nothing happened. We just exchanged a few words, and I was like, I think I recognize you. I've seen you somewhere, stuff like that. And
She
yeah,
was big then?
yeah, she was big then.
Okay.
She was close to 1 million then, I think. Yeah. Now she's at 1 million. Um, and we just spoke and then nothing. And then a few days later, I just come across her posts and I start following her. And then again, a few days later, she's put up this story that, she doesn't have a team and she's looking for a team, and, all of that. And I was like, okay, I just like let it be. And a few days later, again, she posts the story. I was like, I had a good interaction with her. Maybe let's just send that email
Mm.
and give this a shot.
Right.
I don't know why I did that, because I had nothing to do with content. Um, Although I have managed like social media of like the organizations and the clubs at college, but that doesn't count as much of an experience. I just sent that email. I don't hear back for like 2 months.
Oh,
2 months later, I follow up
okay.
because I was like, maybe it just got missed. And then I get a call from her then manager,
Okay.
and she was quitting and stuff like that. So she was in the middle of changing jobs, but she was like, I saw the email, and that's why I'm calling you. I can connect you to her, and then you guys can talk. So I spoke to her. It was a great conversation. It felt more like talking to a friend.
Oh.
Yeah. And I reminded her of the time that we met, and I was like, I even have a picture from that night. And she was like, oh my God, I was like drunk or whatever. I don't remember half of it. I was like, even I don't remember when I saw the picture next morning. I was like, oh yeah, this happened. And yeah, we just spoke. And she told me about another brand that she's launching and stuff like that. I don't want to give out too
Yeah,
much,
yeah.
but and she was like, I don't have a team, and it's been a struggle working without one. I just had a couple of ideas. I just threw around those ideas, and she really liked them.
Mm.
She was like, how long have you been doing this?
Okay.
I was like, oh, she can't tell. It's like I haven't done
Oh,
this at all. So I was like, yeah, I've been doing it for, a couple of months, and I just
you
like
said
said,
months, not years.
yeah, of course. Because obviously, like, she could see on my resume that I had quit my job like less than a year ago.
Were you looking for something then? Actively or passively? कि भाई हो गया तो
No,
हो
I
गया.
was actually working with my dad
Okay.
after coming back.
Wow.
So I joined my family business, and I was like, let's just give this a shot because I can't be sitting at home idle.
Right.
I was also exploring research opportunities because I was thinking I might get a PhD.
No.
And I had a lot of research experience because one summer I stayed back and
Mhm.
did my research. Um, Everybody used to go back home for summers. Some people used to find an internship. This one summer, it was too early because I think junior year, after the junior year, companies actually start offering you internships.
Third year.
Before that, yeah,
Mm.
third year. Before that, there's not much you can do. But I
Mm.
was like, why go home and like just waste an entire summer, might as well get some experience. So I had some research experience. I was exploring that. I was working with my dad. I had actually gotten a research opportunity, so I was
Okay.
working on that. I was with the United Nations. So I was doing that for a bit. We were working with farmers in Africa. So that was
Mhm.
something. Um, but I was not satisfied with whatever I was doing. And I was like, I'm just going to explore, and if this opportunity has showed up, like
Why
that
not?
story has showed up on my feed like twice, maybe it's a sign. I'm a huge believer of signs from the universe. um and I'm like, this is something. I was At that point, I was starting to get very interested in the business behind content creation,
Okay.
because one of my friends who was in New York had started working with some agency. She was doing some modeling gigs, and she was posting a lot on Instagram. And I got really curious. And she used to tell me, you should also start making these reels and,
Mm.
just post. And it's fun. Like, just, you just like showing your life, and your life is fun. So just might as well show it to people. So I was just starting to understand that, get very curious. And then this opportunity shows up. I was like, okay, let's give it a shot. I spoke to her. Everything just worked out. She's like,
Virtually?
yeah.
Okay.
Um, yeah, we had like a G Meet
Okay,
call
nice.
after the phone call, because
Okay.
I was like, let's discuss it properly and let's have a proper contact and everything. Like, if I'm gonna like start working for you.
Mm.
And she really liked my ideas, and she was like, let's go for it. And the rest is history. And then we hired one other person for the team, and then it just kept on, expanding. And my initial role was just to manage content solely. But
All the content that goes out
yeah,
on the
all the content that
Instagram.
goes out. So that includes scripting, that includes like everything, creative direction,
Okay.
screenplay. So you're basically writing the script and you're directing the entire reel. People feel it's like a 30-second reel, but it takes a
Oh,
lot of hard work
gosh.
to align the videographer, then sit on the edit, make sure that everything is as per the references, find perfect references, find references that will blow up the internet.
You there in person as well to direct all of it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that happens in person.
Mm.
It's hybrid.
It's hybrid. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of things require attention for you to be there,
Right.
so that so yeah, it's like it's that whole process, and then of course looking into the styling, how things have to look on camera and what the person
Right.
should be wearing and stuff like that. So there's a lot of it, and then communicating with brands, the brand POCs, the agencies that are in between. This business has grown so much. There's the brand, there's an agency A, sometimes there are two agencies in the middle,
Right.
then there's the creators team, and then there's the creator.
Wow.
So like it's a chain of people in the middle. So yeah, that's how I started, and then a lot of big events happened for her, red carpets, stuff like that. So as a team member, it's like it's always been my responsibility to see what content, like to strategically plan content,
Right.
what goes out when, how to plan the content before a major life event or a major career event or whatever.
Very
So all of
interesting.
that, yeah.
So the thing that you're doing right now, the job that you have, it's a dream job for, every other freaking marketing agency,
Yeah.
independent marketing freelancer. It's a dream job. How do you what's your recommendation to get what you've gotten? Of course, not with the same creator.
Yeah.
I don't think she would change, but yeah, the step-by-step
Yeah.
guide for everyone. Tell me the pet peeves of creators. The most annoying things they do. You're like like my खून उबल रहा है मेरा.
Mm.
What is it?
It's not right to say it on camera, but I'll try to. I'll not.
You yourself are also a creator, so
But
you
yeah,
can tell
I'm a
yours.
budding creator myself, guys. Please follow me on Instagram.
The handle is
Guneet Kaur Baweja, my full name. It's
Yeah.
very easy to find.
Okay. Mine is crowd.io. I don't have a public one. Anyways.
But that's your public one.
Yeah.
But I feel like that happens with me also a lot. That when you're posting, you consider so many things. I mean, it's just a reel, dude. It's not the end of the world. Iske baad aisa nahi, you will stop. This is not your last reel that everything has to be perfect. Oh my
Yeah.
God, the colors. If a color is off, I feel like I can't even see. Am I like colorblind? Sometimes I
Example?
feel like
Kiska color off? Like a hair clip ka color off hai.
no, it's like the colors of the reel
Okay.
are a little bright, and I'm like, but I can't see it. It's like normal colors. If the car is blue, it's looking blue.
Yeah.
But sometimes they're like the colors are off. And dheere dheere, when I also, when I was sitting in the edit, I started understanding the nitty-gritties of it. But still, I feel like some creators, or most creators, because they have a certain aesthetic. They want to do everything according to that aesthetic. So they're like, we have to maintain this. So nothing can go out of place. And the kind of creators that I have worked with or work with have a very aspirational kind of a
Right.
grid, right?
Yeah.
So it's like everything needs to look a certain way, everything has to be perfect, the angles, the hair, the makeup, the colors. But I understand that they are putting that much effort for their audiences, right? At the
Yeah.
end of the day. But usse zyada effort if they put in what content they're delivering,
Yeah.
and what value they're providing, I think that would be more helpful.
Quite interesting.
Yeah.
So how does your week look like with the creator that you're managing?
Okay, like a hectic week would look like maybe like during Diwali season,
Okay.
where there are like back-to-back events. So sometimes you also have to accompany the creator to the event because you're shooting content there.
Right.
So you have to be there to support them, to help them, to shoot
So
content.
who all are there? team में? Who goes to the event?
It's usually the person who's managing content, one person from the operations team, like the operations manager or somebody. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Because most of these events and like fashion shows, for example, a Lakme Fashion Week or something, they only give you like a +1
Okay,
sometimes.
okay.
So you have to manage with that.
Everything.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Um, but both we find ways to like sneak a
Yeah.
person in or something like that. Or we just say no, we need a +2. It's
Right.
it's a proper on charge. It's
Yeah.
then creators are no less than celebrities.
Definitely. Bigger than celebrities
Bigger than
today.
celebrities
Yes.
कि ये creator आ रहा है उनके लिए ये green room होना चाहिए, they're getting their team and that's where they're shooting and this is what they're wearing and all of that. It's a full on business.
Right.
It's like, yeah, they're bigger than celebrities. um so yeah, a week in my life would be like if there's an event like a busy week during Diwali, we're shooting like 2 brand campaigns on one day, which
Okay.
can be, yeah, which can be a lot. Like if you're shooting for like a phone brand and a car brand, there are outfit changes happening, there are looks that are changing, hair and makeup is changing, of course scripts you have to take care of, um and then there are events, and then there are Diwali parties that you have to see. With a creator working with a company, there's a difference working for a company and working
Mm-hmm.
for a creator who they are the brand,
Right.
right? So any personal occasion, if it's like their mom's birthday, if it's like a Diwali party that they're attending, a Christmas party that they're attending, you still have to treat it as a part of the job because their life is their content, right? So you have to plan that, okay, if there's a Diwali party happening, maybe this is an organic reel that we can quickly shoot.
Mm.
Maybe a transition reel, some transition is trending, so let's, shoot this transition. Um, the outfits are sourced, so you have to give credits to those people, you
Right.
have to mention them, you have to give them content. So if you source an
Mm.
outfit and you forget to take pictures, it's a disaster, it's a blunder.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
because you have to give them credits
And it
or the brand will not source you.
destroys your brand. Not destroys your brand, lowers the credibility as well.
Not necessarily, because
Okay.
it depends on, okay, so for example, a person from the operations team is sourcing an outfit for the Diwali party,
That's
right?
free.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sourcing, that's how sourcing works, that you wear an outfit from a brand, from a
Right.
designer, somebody, and then you give them credit. So basically you're publicizing them,
Okay.
and in return they're lending their outfit to
Okay.
you for a particular occasion. I think that's the coolest part of being a creator. You don't have to buy anything.
Listen.
Like you don't have to buy clothes. You can collaborate for getting your hair done, your nails done. You can collaborate with properties for like staycations. It's like insane.
कितने खर्चे बच जाते हैं महीने के approximately?
मुझे लगता है
If you
कुछ
were to put
खर्चा
an
है ही
estimate.
नहीं, सिर्फ बैग्स खरीदो, शूज खरीदो,
That's
कपड़े
it?
खरीदो, that's it. Buy cars, buy property, because you
Yeah.
don't have to spend on these basic things.
Yeah, the expenditure is gone only like that. जो
Yeah,
आपको maintain करने
it's
के
your
लिए use
team
होता है. Yeah.
and the production cost, of
Okay.
course, like the videographer that you're
Right.
paying, the hairstylist, the makeup artist. आजकल तो these guys also come on collaboration,
Yes.
barter.
Yes.
It's a
Yes. They're
barter.
like यहाँ resume
So,
पे आ जाएगा. So if you were to put a number
hmm,
for a creator, A-lister, 1 million followers, monthly expenditure जो बचा सकते हैं with respect to buying clothes,
oh
makeup,
my
nails,
god,
how
बचा
much?
सकते
How
will be
much?
more than
How much?
कमा सकते हैं,
Estimated.
I feel like.
Yeah. कितना लगता है आपको estimated?
I
Rough.
think you can easily save uh, 5 lakhs
5 lakh
a
rupees.
month. Yeah,
Wow.
easily. This I'm saying if you want to wear like designer clothes and
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
because even so the entire look is a rented look, it's a
Yes.
sourced look.
Yes.
The jewelry, you don't have to, if we're not sourcing, that means we have to invest in jewelry,
Yeah,
in certain
precisely.
pieces,
Yes.
and it has to be good quality. The outfits have to be good quality, because at the end of the day it's also your content, it's going
Yes.
live on your page,
Yes.
so it has to have that certain aesthetic, it has to look good. So if you're not doing all of that, and if you paying the makeup artists and hair artists every time for every shoot, they easily charge, like a good makeup artist would charge somewhere between 25 to 30,000
Okay.
per look,
Per look. Wow. And that's free usually.
and that's free usually for them,
Quite insane.
because
Yeah.
they're like giving them credits on their Instagram. So yeah, it's super easy.
Yeah.
And what else happens during a week? Yeah, sometimes the weeks are very boring also.
Okay.
Sometimes you're just sitting, and when you're writing scripts for somebody like me who's doing the content bit, um writing the scripts, getting brand approvals, the back and forth when they're like, okay, this is not working, we want you to use certain language, but you as a content manager, as a content
Mm-mm.
strategist, you were
Mm-hmm.
trying to um be this person that I will make my creator do organic stuff. I don't
Okay.
want this to look like an ad,
Right.
or I don't want this to look boring where
Uh-huh.
she's using technical terms or talking too much about the brand. You are
Mm.
trying to do that, but the brand is also trying to push their brand
There. True.
values
True.
and,
True. True.
their stuff. So sometimes it gets too hard. Sometimes brands are like so cool and so like adjusting and give you so much liberty, and they're like, Joe banana banao,
Yeah.
whatever works best on your page, we're giving you the freedom to do this on your own because you know your audience is the best,
Hmm.
right? So sometimes it's very boring where you're just sitting looking for ideas, looking for inspiration, what can be done different, because after writing so many scripts for brand campaigns, you reach this saturation कि अब
You're right.
क्या नया करें,
Yeah.
what new to think of that other people are not doing, or like, yeah, anything that will like make it go viral or
Mm.
make people love it.
Right.
So there are boring days, monotonous days when all we're doing is like, editing posts
Yeah.
sometimes, sometimes editors are not available, and then you're like, we have to do this on our
Yeah.
own because something needs to go live. Um, yeah, yeah,
Now,
a lot of that.
so, like just giving, I'll ask the question, I'll give the context to people. So, मैं थोड़ा नज़रबट्टू इंसान हूँ ज़िंदगी में कि नज़र लग जाएगी. And
नजर बट्टू
yeah.
इंसान.
So I spoke.
Why is also laughing?
So I've
नजर बट्टू इंसान क्या होता है?
like मतलब नज़र लग जाए and मेरे को नज़र उतारनी है अपनी.
अच्छा, okay.
So, I've spoken in front of like 500, 600 people at one time. And when there are like so many eyes on you, you're like, यार कोई ना कोई नज़र लगा देगा तो ज़िंदगी ना ख़राब हो जाए. So what I do is I usually, and of course with our Instagram account,
Yeah.
our marketing team is pushing my face like literally like a lab rat कि भाई ये करो. They're like getting ready with me करो. मतलब finance platform मैं क्या करूँगा GWM का. तो I'm like that's not.
GRW. The way you said GRWM,
Sorry.
you are not a creator.
Getting ready. W यही सही
हाँ
था.
हाँ बोला सही है, but ऐसे नहीं बोलते GRWM.
My
Get
bad.
ready with,
Finance,
yeah.
But
You
I'm
should
like,
stick to that.
yeah. So they're like ये बनाओ.
Hmm.
And I'm like मुश्किल होगा, मुझसे नहीं हो पाएगा.
Hmm.
ठीक है, मुझसे ना हो पाएगा.
हाँ.
तो irrespective. तो जब भी कोई कंटेंट जाता है मैं तो अपना नज़र की वो जो आर्ट होती है प्रजा, वो मैं एक प्रैक्टिस होती है, मैं वो कर देता हूँ. And I'm like
On
चलो.
every piece of content.
Not every, like I do it very
Now, how do you
regularly.
do it? Like phone pe you do it?
No, with salt. Yes. So salt take you just flush it
But
and or
on
salt
what
bath.
do you do it? If a content piece is going live?
वो हो गया जब पूजा करता हूँ मैं रोज सुबह.
अच्छा.
या
Okay.
तो जब कोई बड़ा टॉक हो then before that I also do that.
Hmm.
Or after also I do that. So yes, creators, are they nazar battu as well?
Yeah.
They are. How do
They
they
are, they
get away with the nazar? What's their practice like?
See, they feel कि हाँ, मतलब they try to keep it um things that really matter to them.
Okay.
They try to keep it private.
Okay.
Okay, and they try to disclose it when it's happened.
Right.
For example, if somebody's getting married or if somebody's having a child, they just try to keep it very private, try to keep it personal. But when the time is right, because see, at the end of the day, they are the brand, their entire life is the content,
Yeah.
right? So they have to share it someday or the other. So it's not like they can run away with it and not share it at all, because people will find out, or if somebody is having a breakup or getting divorced, like a couple of months later, they have a post that, okay, I had a lot of questions, and they always say the same thing that, I had a lot of questions. Because see, for example, if a creator makes videos with her husband
Right.
and suddenly the husband is nowhere in the videos,
Yes.
people will question na ki
Yeah.
kya hua, what
Haan.
happened, where is he, and they'll
Right.
start questioning, and then you have to put that to rest for your own peace. So then you have to announce, if you're getting married, what else will you show na in your content also, because your real life is your content. So if you're
हाँ.
doing wedding shopping, you have to show. But I think they try to delay it. A lot of creators have started doing this, that they don't post real time. They post
Oh,
it, yes, once it has happened. I do that myself.
okay. You're
You know,
getting married?
like
Huh?
this I went to this like trip. I was having a time of, you know, the time of my life with my sister. We went to Amritsar and we were like, it was like so peaceful. And in
Hmm.
that moment, I did not feel like sharing it.
Hmm.
I was like, I don't want to. I want to live in this moment, but I'm recording it, of course, because that's also intrinsic to me. I feel
Right.
a lot of creators, some of them have become creators because they're like used to ki haan fatafat phone nikala. It's their
Right.
instinct.
Yeah.
Phone nikala and they start recording everything.
Hmm.
And some of them just like script it and do it. So for
Hmm.
them, life is very different. Unka to fir nazar se kuch hai nahi na, because they're scripting everything.
Right.
So half of it is not even real, and half of them are showing their real life. But yeah, they are very this thing about nazar, and I think it happens if you're in the public eye. I think
Hmm.
every celebrity is a little bit superstitious like that. But then, of course, yeah, there's the Shah Rukh Khan, there's the
Hmm.
Ambanis.
Yeah.
You know, this is my mom का pet line कि उनको नजर नहीं लग रही है, तुम लोगों
हाँ.
को ही लग रही है बस.
Right. 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 No,
So,
that's also true. Quite interesting. Now let's talk about if one has to become a creator,
mhm.
जो सुख और फल भोगता है of these,
Yeah,
free things,
yeah.
what's the benchmark? What? Okay, tell me one thing. 20,000 followers, 50,000 followers, 1 lakh, 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs.
Do you want an honest answer?
Yes.
There is no benchmark.
What?
Yes, there is no benchmark to be like that. In all honesty, what brands are looking for now is authentic content.
Okay.
There's so much AI slop on Instagram, on social media
Yeah,
in general.
so bad.
They want real people telling real stories, telling it in a way which is authentic, which connects with the audiences, stays with them.
Okay.
You know, Instagram is valuing retention over reaction so much that even if you have like 1,000 followers, all you need to have is like 500,000 follower 500 or 1,000 followers, not 500,000, um to be able to monetize your account,
How?
honestly.
How?
Because these small brands, or you know, homegrown labels, or startups, or new brands, you know, like small businesses, they reach out to you and they'll be like, you know, we can initially they start with barter collaborations. They send you their products and you make a video for them. um then there comes a stage where they let you pick that, okay, this is our entire website, you can pick anything that you want, and this is this one product that we will send you as a part of the barter, and then you make a reel on this.
Okay.
Then comes the paid collaboration bit. They only look at your engagement,
Okay.
literally, to that.
So अब आप एक चीज
Yeah.
बताओ, अगर एक ब्रांड है, इन्फ्लुएंसर्स भी है, ब्रांड भी है,
Hmm.
अगर हम एक ब्रांड है, लेट्स से एक साइड में ब्रांड है, दे वांट टू अप्रोच a creator with 1 million plus followers, and there are like 100 million other or 100 other brands who want to collaborate with them. How's the precedent set?
Whoever's paying better.
Paying, but
Yeah.
if it's barter,
No. They have also, brands have also understood that it is a lot of effort that goes into content creation.
right.
Now that it's become a full-time business, there are a lot of aspects, a lot of teams involved, a lot of
Right.
people involved. It's not easy. It's not like एक reel ही तो shoot करना है. No. It takes it takes hours to shoot that 30-second video, right? Then edit it and post-production, all of that. So they have also realized that nobody is going to do it for free.
Right.
And barter, if they're offering stuff that the other person doesn't even need, why will they, you know, take that effort to do that? If somebody's starting out, it's different. A 1 million plus creator would never do barter. Maybe if it's like a huge, like a Manish Malhotra comes up
Yeah,
and
then
he's
of course
like,
makes sense.
if you walk the ramp for me, or if you promote this collection, maybe you can take something from the store. You know,
It happens.
it does. You know,
Okay.
some designers do this, that you come at a store and you just like show the entire collection, shoot a video, like make it look very organic that you're actually here to shop. and then just take like maybe like a 60K discount on one of the items, or just take something
Right,
like that.
right, right.
But it's very rare, because if a creator can easily get paid, like a 1 million plus creator can easily get paid somewhere between 3 lakhs to 7 lakhs depending on your engagement for one reel. Why would they barter for
Barter.
like a piece of
True.
garment that's like 2 lakhs, 3
Yeah.
lakhs, whatever? If their engagement is really high and their commercials are only 7 lakhs,
Mm-mm.
why would they want to do the barter with you?
Yeah. Can I ask a controversial question?
Yeah.
Um, so, so let's say, see, at the end of the day, we use the word influencer, and now influencers want to be associated with the word content creators.
Mm-hmm.
Influencer means a person who is influencing.
Yeah.
Now, in the background, behind the scenes, behind the curtains, if whatever content the follower is seeing at the end of the day is gamed, it's fixed, like match fixing. Because you go to a brand, you know, in back end there's certain barter happening, there's certain paid collaboration, yet when you look at them, it is not looking like a paid collaboration. It looks like as if they really really believe in it. And of course there might be cases where they really believe in it,
Mm-hmm.
and there might be a precedence in choosing that particular brand because they have some synergies with it.
Yeah, yeah.
But at the end of the day, if there is certain monetary compensation involved, certain barter involved, which benefits directly the creator or the influencer, do the followers get gumrah out? Like gumrah ho jate hai, influence? Do you think that like is getting worse in India?
Yes. And if you ask me, Instagram, I think this will be a very controversial statement. Instagram will eventually, in a couple of years, I think pretty soon, will go back,
Mm-mm.
or at least try to go back to the point where it started.
Which is
Which is, when Instagram was there, it did not have more than 2 billion users.
right.
It did not have the same algorithm, like same things coming up, that okay, everybody's doing a get ready with me, or everybody's doing like a Zara haul. Yeah, everybody's doing like a
Yeah,
Zara haul or an H&M haul, or
yeah,
affordable Amazon finds and all of that. It will go back to the storytelling version of it. I understand what you're saying with like brand
yeah.
collabs, but now people know, of course they know. So brands have also started taking this route
Mm.
where they are just sending products to the creators, and they're being like, don't get a videographer. Just take your phone and just integrate the product into your reel very naturally. That okay, this is a
Yeah.
day in my life, right? And on my way just to like fix my hair, I use this product, I use this
Mm.
serum. So very seamlessly, if you see most of the Gen Z creators, that's how they're selling products.
Mm.
That's how they're doing their brand campaigns, where you can literally not tell that this is a brand campaign, because
Yeah,
they will start off with, okay, this is a day in my life kind of a vlog, and then I'm going to my Pilates, and then I'm coming back home, I'm making myself some breakfast, then I'm doing this, and then I'm heading out, and then to do my hair, I have this. Tab tak
yeah,
somebody has seen like 60% of the reel.
yeah,
So they've gotten the view, they've gotten and they've also engaged with it in a way that, okay, she's actually using this product
yeah,
during her day. So I feel like what I mean by Instagram will go back to where it's like started from, is that everybody will eventually have to come back to that storytelling method.
mm.
People are bored of seeing trends. Nobody wants to see you dance on the same song. Nobody wants to see you do those same transitions just wearing a different outfit. Nobody wants to, just engage in whatever Chat GPT has told
Mm.
you that, okay, this should be your content strategy.
Right.
Because that strategy, it's providing to everyone, right?
Uh,
Everybody is doing that. How are you different? How are you building a community?
mm.
If you look at the creators that are still relevant, they have built a community of people.
Mm.
Community means people who will not just watch your content in that moment.
Right.
Okay, you posted a reel about the election results, for
Mm.
example, right? Your community are the people who will come back 10 days after the results have happened and watch. Okay, maybe I did not understand one point that he or she was trying to make,
Mm.
so let me watch it again. That's your community. But if the reel goes viral, it's just, you get the reaction, you get the view in that moment, it's just another viral reel. and then nobody cares about it. But community is people who will keep coming back to your content. Maybe they will come back to your page and they'll be like, oh, let me check if she's made a part 2 about it. I would want to hear her opinion. आगे क्या
Right.
होता है, you know, in this story. So people will have to content creators will have to build that community, and that will only happen when they actually seamlessly integrate their brands, because
Right.
as you mentioned, people can tell that okay, it's a branded campaign, it's been paid by the brand, and so she's promoting it, and the audiences is like sick of it now.
Yeah,
Like people are sick
precisely.
of watching it, and the thing is they've understood it.
Yeah.
You know, whenever something new comes into the market, firstly it's like everybody's getting it, it's like viral. For example, the fidget spinners people
Yeah.
got, right? It just got viral, everybody's getting it, and then there are false claims that okay, it like calms your anxiety. I mean, not truly completely
Yeah.
false, but okay, till what extent, right? It can't be your replacement to therapy. And it sharpens your brain
Yeah.
and this and that. मतलब बादाम छोड़ो, fidget spinner
Fidget spinner को मार.
चलाओ और आपका brain sharp हो जाएगा. But once people understand, फिर वो हो गया, फिर that
Died.
you know died down. Because why? Because people understand that okay, these are all false claims. The same thing is happening with Instagram. Like, you know, it happened with junk food. Now people have become so health conscious and they're like, no, I need to be aware of what I'm consuming.
Yeah.
Now people have also become very aware of what they're consuming here, right?
Mentally, yes.
Mind उनका क्या consume करता है, what are they looking at 24/7? Because Instagram is something you can, like, you're getting bored, you'll just pick up, you'll start scrolling. But now with Instagram being here for like a decade almost, people have realized.
They have?
They
You really think?
Yeah, I think they have, with like Gen Z, you know, monitoring their screen time and trying to reduce it, trying to increase human interaction. I think people are realizing that it's whatever they see, most of it is not true. 90% of it is made up, it's fabricated, it's not true. So the only way forward would be to build a very strong community, people who are so loyal, who've connected with you so much that they're like your family and they
Wow.
will not leave you.
Quite interesting.
Yeah.
Can you tell me, like, I'll come to the brands, collab and creators themselves creating brands, etc., companies, setting up companies. What's the rule book or the playbook to make a reel viral?
Okay.
Real answer.
Yeah. See, there's honestly no such rule book.
Okay.
A lot of creators want to just follow trends and go viral, which is a very, very short term escape. Because if you pick up a trend, of course, since that audio is trending and you know it's just showing up, it's the algorithm showing it. But you know, the algorithm is changing very fast.
Yes,
Like
yes.
I just mentioned how Instagram is valuing retention over reaction or over one view.
Yeah.
It's like who's coming back to this profile and watching it again, or
Yeah.
trying to, you know, see who this creator is, trying to understand their life. I think virality is very, very short lived. And being authentic again will eventually make you go viral. And it's mostly about consistency. There's no one hack. Of course, if you follow trends, there's a huge chance you will get viral because it's a trend and
Yeah.
everybody's doing it. Yeah, but I think virality is very short lived, and no creator should ever try to chase it.
Okay.
They should focus more on creating their world. They should start thinking of it as their world where they are trying to connect with the audiences. They're trying to make relatable content, honest content, and trying to give something. If you see any creator who is trying to give something back to the audiences, who is intentional that, okay, if somebody is spending time on watching my reel, they are taking away something with them. Their views will be like all of their reels will be viral. You know, like who's that guy? I always forget his name. The Ram Sarya ne jo
Bajrang.
Bayanpuri,
Yeah,
something his
Bayanpuri,
last
yeah,
name.
yeah.
I always like forget
Ram
his name.
Saranu.
But yeah, the Prime Minister did a
75
reel.
hard
Sorry?
challenge, 75-day hard
Yes,
challenge. He
yes.
did that.
He
Yeah.
started with 75 days. Now he must have been on, like, I don't know, 600 days or whatever.
2 years on challenge.
Yeah, matlab,
Yeah.
once it's the entire challenge is viral. All his reels are viral. Why? Because he's motivating people, right? He's bringing value to them.
Yeah.
It's very soon that this time will come where creators will have to be extremely intentional, and if they are not providing any value,
Right.
people will stop engaging with their content.
Uh,
And the users, the audiences, they don't show, most of them don't show it in the comments that, oh my god, I'm
yeah.
bored of your content. They will just quietly unfollow you.
Really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how you
This
lose
it happens.
followers and
Yes.
lose your everything,
Audience. So
brand.
so when you quantify it, let's say if I speak quantitatively, is it that because I've noticed something, I follow a few creators, nutritionists, रील डाली 10 मिनट में 1,000 reposts आ गए उसके, that
Hmm.
arrow, they're like 1,000 likes of 200 300, like that math doesn't math, right? The
Hmm.
comments are like 200.
Hmm.
अचानक से it feels as if the person is sending the reel on a WhatsApp group or a Telegram group, and they're like people who are just commenting and resharing intentionally to hike it up. Is it
Yeah.
true? Does it happen?
See, people do buy views and interactions,
Okay.
so you can
Oh,
pay
they do that.
somebody.
Do you
Yeah,
know the rates of it?
it's pretty cheap. It's
How
not
much approx?
like you can pay a person 3K to like get 200K views on your
What?
reel. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's pretty cheap. And a lot of these pages that
Yeah.
post, that comment on posts ki followers बढ़ाएं ये वो,
Yeah.
those pages are legit. Like they
Okay.
actually increase your followers and people buy followers and views.
Yeah.
You can even buy those shares and comments, everything.
Acha.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everything can be
But
bought.
Instagram, if they get to know, they'll kill you, right? They're like, हम आपको boost करेंगे नहीं, आप कर लो जो करना है.
I don't. It messes up your
Yes,
algorithm.
algorithm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you are buying views, so natural views, whatever come on your reels, will
Oh.
obviously drop down.
Yeah.
Even if you're boosting, because Instagram will get to know that, okay, this person is putting in money, so why do we need to push their reel
Yeah.
anyways? We
Yeah.
are getting paid to push the reel, so why push it for free?
Hmm.
So it can harm your account more than you
More than
think will benefit your
yeah.
account. Yeah.
Creators do performance marketing.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
They do.
So in what sort of format they push their content? Because I don't get sponsored ads from creators a lot, except
See,
a
it's
few
usually,
economists.
yeah, it's usually the reels that the content that doesn't work,
Okay.
or the branded content. But for the branded content, it's usually the brand boosting it,
Oh, they
or
sponsor
they
it.
have a
Okay.
boosting budget. You give them the rights to boost. They your
Oh, they can do that.
yeah, they
I'm
can
a
do.
brand,
If,
you're a creator,
yeah,
and you can give me the rights to boost the content that you made
yes,
from your account.
yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Quite
And if you do
nice.
a collab, then you already have it. Or I can just add you, go to like paid partnerships, add you as a brand partner, and you can boost my reel.
Quite nice.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
put in the money and just like boost it.
So how does a creator, because I see a lot of people, I think rawness is also has a correlation with the growing age right now, because as you said, people are being a little cognizant of the, the facades that are created by the creators, and it's going away. People are appreciating rawness. Algorithm is boosting rawness, originality, genuineness. How does a creator monetize their content in the basic step? Like for example, an account which has 5,000 followers, personal
Mm-hmm.
account, an account, yeah, just let's start with 5,000 followers. How do they reach out to brands? How do they make themselves visible to brands so that they can monetize their content? How does that happen?
See, most of the times, if your content is doing good, you have good engagement on your reel. Even if you have like 5,000 followers, you can still have like 200K, 50K, 100K, whatever views on your reels, right? Your content can still reach people, because the conversion is usually, that's what I'm saying. When you're adding value to somebody's life,
Yeah.
they will hit the follow button, or you'll just get the view.
Hmm.
But getting the view is still easier. So most creators who are posting consistently, it's literally about consistency, because the algorithm also picks up that, okay, this person is posting consistently. They're at the same time every day they're shooting content and they're pushing it, so it makes it reach people.
Got it.
That's for sure. um how do they monetize it? They can reach out to brands. Usually if your deals are hitting whatever, these brands also have their people who are looking out for these creators all the time. They're like I don't know, hundreds and thousands of agencies, like,
Okay.
yeah, even like if I look at my request section, so many
Agencies are already
agencies,
approached you.
they keep approaching all the time for events, for brand launches, for collaborations.
Right.
They always approach you. But if you feel like nobody's, usually that's not the case. It never happens that if your content is doing good, nobody's approaching you. It never happens,
Yeah.
rarely happens. If it's not happening, just reach out to
Yeah.
agencies, just drop them a DM, reach out to a brand. I have done that for myself. I saw creators who had similar followers as mine, or like 2-3 thousand more followers than I had. But I looked at their content and I was like, I can do this better, And I
Yeah.
looked at them sourcing outfits. Right, this is when I started my first reaching out
Yeah.
to a brand, was when I saw, okay, all of these girls are shooting these videos and wearing these amazing, beautiful outfits to all the
Mm.
weddings, and they don't have to buy it. I was like, that's so fun.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just like reach out to these brands, and I did, and all of them replied.
Okay.
Yeah, and they were like, yeah, what kind of content can you make for us, and we are happy to source our outfits to you.
For the brand, yeah.
Huh.
How much does an agency, like for example, you get associated with an agency XYZ, let's say, and they get you because they are the mediator, right? They have
Yeah.
the brand collabs, they partner with them, they have the creators, and they basically link them both.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard a lot of partiality happens in that for some loyal creators that they have had since a long time. Number
Yeah.
one, I don't know. But let's not get into the nitty gritties of that. But how much cut does an agency take there?
See, somewhere between 15 to 20%.
20%.
Yeah, 15 to
Wow,
20%. Usually it's on the lower end, 15.
15%.
That's true. If a creator or multiple creators are with an agency, and if they have, for example, 3 creators have the same manager, they might want to, the manager might want to push one creator, or the manager might feel that, okay, this creator is better for a certain brand,
Right.
right? Um, and then you can't do much about that. See, that's the thing about this job. You can't control a lot of things. You can't
Mm,
control how people react to your content. You can't necessarily control what brands come up to you. Of course, if you're a brand favorite and a brand is like, oh my god, I only want to work with this one creator, and I love what he or she did for us the last time, they'll tell the manager that I only want to work with her, or
mm,
and then they don't even care about the commercials.
right.
See, that's also, if you're producing quality content, nothing can stop you. And
Mm,
if you just like, frivolous with it, and you're like,
mm,
I don't care, I just have to get my money in and just give them a reel,
mm,
then it's not gonna, it's like any other profession. If you're
right.
passionate about it, if you were committed to it, you're putting in the effort, it will work out for you. But
Mm,
partiality can happen. Again, it's
yeah.
like any other profession. You have to network, you
Right.
have to have good relationships with these agencies, with the people who are working with the brands directly, right? You have to be cordial with them,
Right.
always say hi. And there are a lot of things like, celebrities, creators are
Yeah.
celebrities. You have to do a lot of things out of goodwill, or just you have to go show face. Because if this agency gets pissed and this agency has like 10 of these brands or these luxury brands, they will
Mm,
not work with you, because this agency is, that person could be like, okay,
yeah.
this influencer didn't show up to our event, so I'm going to say bad things about that person to
Yeah.
the brand,
Right.
and the brand will be like, okay, let's not work with them.
Absolutely.
So there is that thing that happens because there are agencies involved.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to get into something which is little on the negative side,
Hmm.
the reality. Because a reality has both positives and negatives.
Yeah.
So there might be people who are watching this are aspiring creators. What makes this industry toxic?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think it is, and how?
Pretense,
Pretends.
a lot of it. mm, yeah, you're just projecting a different version of yourself sometimes, getting too deep into the number game.
Which
Okay,
is the views,
the views,
followers.
the followers, the likes, the comments. Oh my god, my content is not working. I have seen creators, like, their mood just depends on how their content is doing.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like whatever is happening around them is like all controlled. If their content is not working well, they'll be like mad at everyone,
Yeah.
they'll not be happy in general, not be satisfied, because they attach too much of themselves to the content.
They, first of all, they're bloody confident people who put themselves out like that in
Actually,
front of
they're
the
the most
world.
insecure people.
And yet, yeah, they are
They
trying to
are
derive value from just a platform.
just a platform, just the number of views, and these are all anonymous people. It's not like you're not being recognized or valued by a
Yeah.
family member or a friend or a
Yes.
partner.
Yes.
These are all anonymous people. So
Right. Right.
ultimately, what they think about you or if they are engaging or not should not matter as much as a friend not talking to you or watching your content. But it does. It's like validation, and like just going after it can be
Yeah.
extremely toxic.
Yeah. So let's say a person who starts as a content creator and a person who has established themselves as a content creator, let's say establishment metric is, let's say, 1 million followers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When you've seen creators who you have managed, they
Yeah.
must be getting, because I see a lot of horrible comments, derogatory comments.
Yeah.
How do they deal with that?
See, after a point of time, everyone develops a thick skin.
Hmm.
Now I'm getting reminded of this one comment. So I posted something. See, people are gonna have an opinion on anything and everything.
Right.
कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना,
हाँ.
right? If somebody asks you a question and you have this urge to always give the right answer, right? Your
Hmm.
entire life will become a test.
Yeah, true. That's a good point.
And then you don't want to wake up to that test every day.
Hmm.
Like, how that we get that hollow feeling in the stomach when we have like this major examination and we're like, oh my god, I need to pass this.
Hmm.
Why would you want to wake up with that feeling every morning? But most creators get into that. They feel like if anybody is asking me questions, if any new trend is coming, if anything is happening in the country, whether it's political, whether it's cultural, anything, I need to have an opinion and I need to have the right opinion. Like, I need to be spot on. People need to appreciate that, okay, this person said the right thing.
Hmm.
But that's not always the case. That will never happen, because even if you have the right opinion that majority of people think is the right opinion,
Hmm.
there will still be that 5% population that will think it's not the right opinion.
Right.
So they will make some comment. So you can't, a lot of creators get into that. They start treating it like, you need to have the right answer for everything.
Right.
But people will always have something to say, and
Hmm.
then eventually you realize you have to develop a thick skin if you need to protect your mental peace.
How does your personal life, or how does one creator's personal life get blended with that? Because I think when we started this conversation, you did mention that the personal life, the Instagram account is a reflection of your personal life,
Yeah.
but of course there might be certain boundaries and certain things are kept very separate. But in those separate things, how does these two things mix?
See, sometimes it's like you start regulating your life according to the content that you want.
Okay. Would it be fair to say that being a content creator and influencer is getting paid to just show how you live your life?
That's one way to put it.
Majoritarily.
That's one way to put it. But see, it is very hard
Yes.
to show your authentic self, like your real life, to
Yeah.
be vulnerable on camera, to actually show you having a hard day, which a lot of creators have now started doing. Honestly, personally, I resonate a lot with people who are putting themselves out there and being like, today was a hard day,
Yeah.
and they're like crying on camera, and then you're like, oh my god,
Seriously.
everybody has hard days. So it's not easy, like
Hmm.
going back to when you texted on the group chat and
No.
like people showed up.
Yeah.
See, it's not easy in that moment, and now you can say that, okay, it's always been easy for me to be vulnerable, but I'm pretty sure in that moment you would have thought,
हाँ
okay,
कि
isn't this a bit too much? I don't even know these people.
yeah मजाक बन जाऊँ पूरे कॉलेज के लिए. Of course that was a fear.
और सब चिढ़ाते रहेंगे, he's that guy who wrote on the
Yeah.
group chat the very first day that I'm crying and I'm
I'm
feeling lonely.
recalled because of that at times,
See?
Yeah,
See?
but in a good humor.
Hmm.
They're like, because at the same time that vulnerability was shared by everyone.
Yeah.
I voiced that, and people today appreciate that you had voiced that, you had the guts to do that. That's why we appreciate that.
Exactly.
Eventually,
Exactly.
yeah.
eventually it all makes
Makes
sense.
sense.
But
Yeah.
in that moment, you are scared, you are afraid to like open up. It's very easy, they get paid to share
Yeah.
their lives, but the real question is the people who are watching, are you comfortable sharing your life that much?
Yeah.
Are you okay authentically presenting your emotions? Are you okay telling to your audiences that you had to schedule a therapy session because so and so happened,
Yeah.
right? Half
Yeah.
of the people still don't talk about mental health in this country. I know we've come a really long way. It's no longer
Taboo.
taboo,
Yeah.
but still, it's hard for people to like say that, okay, oh my, I could say, okay, I have a dermat
Yeah.
appointment,
Yeah.
but half of the people still don't say I have a
You're right.
therapy session and I need to run to
Mm,
that. Right? They'll just be like, I have a doctor's appointment.
yeah.
So stuff like that. And so many creators are being authentic with their mental health, with their relationship issues, with whatever they're facing on social media. Sometimes they even voice that, like, I'm feeling really sad because my content is not working,
Yeah.
or I'm feeling like, I'm not feeling respected, or I'm not feeling included in rooms that I feel I should be included in. So I think it has its own struggles, and
Mhm.
those struggles are not less. And you can't compare those struggles to like somebody who's doing a corporate job, or
Right. Right.
it's very hard to stay relevant. I would honestly say, like, this is something
Uh-huh.
that I really feel. I'm sorry. Um, it's easier to be the CEO of a company
Mm.
in like 15 years' time than it is to be relevant and be in that top 1% of creators. It is so
Yeah. I
uncertain,
agree.
like this job, like there's so much uncertainty that you never know. And how do you stay relevant for
Yeah.
10 years, 15
As
years
a creator
as a creator?
on one platform, do
Yeah.
you think creators can be great politicians?
Oh, I think they were like, no,
Huh?
no.
No, but still, like, if you think, because see, if you're relevant for 10, 15 years in the public eye, because it's the public only at the end of the day, you're
Hmm.
making them happy. You,
Imagine your prime minister waking up and
yeah.
get ready with me to go meet the prime minister, the president of the United States of America.
Do
Oh
you
my
think that
God,
era
that
will come ever? अगर
can,
अगर सोचे तो
can,
can ना,
can.
because now it brings a very
Modi
fascinating
ji being like,
quote.
आज मैंने ये वाला बंद गला पहना है कल.
Yeah, that can be, because it's actually such an interesting point, because being relevant as a
Yeah,
creator is much harder than
yeah,
being relevant as a business or a
exactly,
corporation. And
exactly.
if you can be that, then why can't creators? Because they're appealing to the masses, they're
But
appealing.
that's just the top 1%. Those
Yeah.
are the anomalies,
Yeah.
right? That doesn't happen with everyone. Which creator has been relevant for like 15
Yeah,
years?
because अब creator economy start 10 साल पहले हुई है, 10 साल भी मैं ज़्यादा बता रहा हूँ.
हाँ,
Yeah.
actually, that's
Post
also
COVID तो
true.
इंडिया में हुई है. So
That's true.
after 2021, 2022, it started booming. So now coming, what's a parallel world of nepotism in the creator economy? अभी तो बच्चे नहीं हुए होंगे creators, क्या हो रहे होंगे, but still, like, that networking
Okay.
aspect.
Yeah, I have seen, X person's mother gets famous, so daughter also starts making reels, or like a lot of these makeup artists I'm seeing, they get famous
I
and
know who you're talking about, maybe.
yeah, you might, because I think everybody knows her. Um,
I love her. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, but I don't know. Of course, see, they will get that, the pace, they will get whatever their
Yeah.
parents have done. So, and they have shown them on camera. So, if they create an account for them, it'll be a byproduct that, okay, some of
Yeah.
those followers will get transferred. So,
Do you
so of
think
course.
creator economy is one of those economies where there's reverse nepotism? Because nepotism is usually from your parents to the kids, right?
Yeah.
But from creators, I've noticed that it is towards the parents, not towards the kids. Because kids are the one who are the,
Who are creating
torch bearers,
content.
and then their parents start doing that.
That's actually true. I know this creator
Yeah.
who then started promoting the homemade food
Yeah,
the mom's
exactly.
making, and
Yes.
then now mom has a page, and then
Yeah.
see everybody in the family, whoever you were showing on camera, whoever's they've now become a public figure,
Yes.
right? It doesn't
Overnight.
matter if like one person knows them, or like a crore 1 crore people know them, right? It doesn't matter if like even if 10,000 people know them, they are a public figure, they will be called a public figure. So
Right.
any venture that they have, if they have a fitness page, if they have a gym, if they have a whatever small business, whatever home run business, that will pick up and
Yeah.
because people know about them now.
Yeah.
It's all about
Mm.
information traveling. Yeah.
Quite nice. One of my last questions for you. Um, so far in your content creation journey, the managerial journey, which has been your favorite trend?
Favorite trend?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I can't pick one.
कोई एक like it's like
Hmm.
wow, blew my mind. यहाँ पे आई retention, यहाँ पे आई community, more than retention, community.
Oh. I'm really liking, okay, so this is like this umbrella of where trends are coming from, where um people are sharing that, in your 20s. I really like that trend. It
Okay.
was like all over, in your
Yeah.
20s, somebody will tell you not to take that trip, and you
Yeah.
should definitely not listen to them. Somebody will tell you not to take that decision,
Yeah.
not to quit that job, but you should definitely do that. It's See, I love such trends where it's so enduring to look at people celebrate
Yeah.
themselves. And for this trend, I saw it was mostly women,
Mm.
because women are usually in their 20s, while they're teenagers, they're told not to do certain things. More
Mm.
than men, women are told not to do, like, there are more restrictions in
Right.
terms of you should have a conventional career path, then you should get married, have kids, raise a family, blah blah blah. Even if you have good education, that's just for, to frame the
Mm.
degree and then not use it. um I feel like trends where people get to celebrate themselves and
Mm.
then, of course, inspire other people, you will see so many reshares. You will
Mm.
see so many more people doing those trends, people who are not even creators, even if they have a private account. I think the best trends are the trends where people who are not creators also want to hop
Hmm.
onto that trend.
Right. Right.
Even if they have a private Instagram account, they're so in love with whatever that trend is showcasing and
Right.
teaching other people. They're like, I want to make one for myself.
Quite. The ice bucket challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Promotion of that
Yeah.
particular thing. Yeah. 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 Wow. So, it brings me again to a weird correlation that the creator economy, yet so formal and structured within the economy, but on the outside, it is so unstructured. Reason is you can only learn about content creation hands on.
Yes.
You cannot be educated for the same, you cannot get a degree for the same. And I think that's a beauty because back in the day जब हमारे एक दो पुश्ते पहले देखते थे, people used to say आपको तजुर्बा क्या है ज़िंदगी का, ज़िंदगी तो हमने जी है, बिल्कुल सही बात है.
Yeah.
Real life practical experiences they have learned. But in today, I think with the technological advancement, the digital street smartness, I think, is a term which has started to, take its own shape.
Yeah.
And content creators are the digitally smart people for which you cannot be educated. Do you think
That's
that?
true. Honestly, I feel like it's so interesting. Yesterday, I followed this page called the Creator College.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then they sent me a text that thank you for following us. See, I really like these pages who like they
Appreciate
engage.
small things.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Even if like getting one follower, they were like so happy. So they were like, we have this Christmas deal going on and for our course, and I just happened to open it. I was literally teaching you the basics of like making a reel,
Mm.
how to edit it, what trends to pick up, and stuff like that. I feel like, see, my content creation journey also started when I learned something about it.
Wow.
It
Mm.
did not randomly, start,
Mm.
and I needed that reinforcement from other people. Like, when I was working with this creator, so many people came up to me and they were like, it was so great talking to you. And you sometimes, when I'm creatively directing, I'm showing him or her something, right? And once somebody told me, you're such a natural in front of the camera, right?
Mm.
Why don't you do this yourself? And then another instant, this major designer, he was like, oh, are you a creator as well? I thought you were one too, because the way you carry yourself and the way you're talking and networking. I was like, okay. And then that kept happening. And as I mentioned,
Yeah.
I believe in universe and the signs and everything. I was
Mm.
like, if so many people can see it in me,
And
why
why
can I
can't
not
you?
try? Just give it a shot.
Mm.
My best friend from college, he has been after my life since like 2019. He
I know
used to,
him now.
huh?
I know him.
That's another best friend. But
Like,
Yeah, he also has his like such a successful family business and
Hmm.
everything. He's also a banya, by the way.
Oh, okay.
But he still took the risk and he started his own company in during COVID. He was managing his company
From
from
the
the US like
States.
virtually, and he set it up. Diverging from the topic, but yeah, he used to tell me, he used to look at like Prajakta Kohli's content. He used to be like, uh, dude, you can do so much better than this. Like,
Hmm.
you know, the way you make us laugh. Sometimes you say such silly things. And when you're talking like serious stuff, it's like so inspiring to listen to you. And
Hmm.
I used to be like, मुझे अपना engineering खत्म करने दो, यहाँ मुझे 2 degrees
Hmm.
खत्म करना है. And you were
दो
like,
degree, yeah.
content creation कर लो. And I never took it seriously. But when this was happening, I was working with this creator, and so many people started telling me, I was like, okay, now that I've learned so much about it, I
Hmm.
know the business behind it, I know the economy, I know how to, drive traction. At least I know some of it. Of course, I learn most of it while I do it. But since I know a lot of it, might as well give
Hmm.
it a shot.
Right.
I feel like that's how it should be.
Hmm.
And if you're very confident that okay, I have this aesthetic, I can do it, there are a lot of courses and things online
Hmm.
now. So I feel like there will be a time where you will actually have a college degree
Yeah,
for
you
like
think?
content creation. Yeah, for sure.
Quite
Well,
nice.
there'll be like
Let's see.
इतने views लाने के लिए इतना
इतना
ये
करना
करना
पड़ेगा.
पड़ेगा. Yeah.
Yeah. चलो, it comes down the last question. 30th December 2025. This is happening. What's your resolution for 2026?
Wow, that was straight up. I was literally planning like doing a. So a lot of people make vision boards,
Yes.
right? But for me, what has worked most has been a past year review. So I call it like PYR. That's like my past
Year
year
review. Okay.
review. Um, it's actually, I think Tim Ferriss's
Okay.
something that you weigh the positives, negatives, and just go over your gallery and just see things that have made you so happy, spending what people were you spending time with when you were like your happiest,
Right, right.
and what made you feel like negative emotions and stuff like that. And I realized that I am my happiest when I'm doing unplanned stuff.
Mm.
Like, I think during the past 2 years, I became this person, and I don't know why. I honestly have no answer for that. A person who wanted everything to be organized and everything to
Okay.
be planned.
Right.
I was like that. That was killing the joy of it.
Yes.
Now, in retrospect, I think that was literally just killing the joy of it. So I don't have a resolution as such because I think resolutions are meant to be broken. And by the 15th of January, everybody has forgotten
Yeah.
about their resolution and they're like, "Ho gaya New Year khatam."
Yes.
But I'm literally gonna go with the flow.
Okay.
As a Pisces, I'm very lazy. I procrastinate a lot. So that's something I'm gonna try to work on and procrastinate less. And yeah, not plan things too much. Of course, some amount of planning is important, but if I felt my happiest when things were unplanned and the plans were spontaneous and
Mm.
I've done something and I felt like, oh my God, I did the best thing ever because I did it, just in the moment. I think I'm going to do more of that. And yeah,
Going with the flow.
yeah, going with the flow.
Like wind.
Like wind, like water.
Like water.
Like I'm a water sign, so it's like
Oh, yes. The
water.
fish, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Chalo. I think, thank you so much. Thanks a lot. I think you shared a lot of insights. I learned so much.
I've
And I'm
spoken like a crazy person.
No, I think
Blabbered.
thank you so much
I
for the
hope it made
time that you've
sense.
given, for the insight that you've shared. Being very frank with you, I don't think anyone else in your place in the same industries, everything same, if not you, won't have shared this much.
Oh my
So
God. You
yeah, you didn't
don't.
overshare. But yeah, I think
Exactly. Did I overshare?
no, I think the transparency was there. It was raw, it was honest, and I really enjoyed it. And I think it was a little deep dive masterclass into this creator economy where we
Yeah.
touched base on different nitty-gritties, and of course starting with your life of, because those experiences shape you of who you are today.
Exactly.
And I think I enjoyed it a lot. We didn't know 2 hours almost khatam bhi ho gaye.
Exactly. I
Yes.
didn't realize.
Yeah, with just
And
one
see,
break.
yeah, with just one break.
For 1 minute.
Yeah, for 1 minute.
For
Water
happy.
break
Water
that we
break.
need to
Happy
have.
break for me.
Happy break.
Made me
But
happy in the meantime. Still am. Yes, yes.
but no, I feel like see, that's when the best conversations happen. You have no track of time.
Yes.
So, it's important to have a good listener, a person who's asking the right questions. So, thanks to you
Honored.
for having me, first of all. Like, I was so nervous in the beginning, and then I almost forgot that there's actually a camera. So, I think that was the best part. And yeah, I hope whatever I shared made sense to people because I try to
Yeah.
do my best.
No, you did
And
great.
they can gain
Yeah.
something from it. And, like if somebody's looking to start their content creation journey, maybe they can get a push. And yeah, it's, I know a lot of people think and hear a lot of negative things
Yeah.
about it, but it's not that bad.
Right.
If you
Right.
want to share your life, just, you should like take that risk and do
Mm.
it because it is a rewarding
It is indeed.
career at the end of the day, and it's fun.
Yeah.
Like if you love being in front of the camera and talking and all of that. So yeah, but thank you so much.
Honored.
You are a great person to have a conversation
No,
with.
thank.
I realized that the moment we met at the dinner and started
Yes.
talking, and
Great things are cooking.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
We're not saying
Yeah.
anything, but soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's great to have a person who you can talk to about spiritual stuff, about
Hmm.
business, about
Hmm.
anything in general. So thank you
I share
for
the
being
same
that.
opinion. No, thank you so much, and I share the same opinion. So thank you for being that. Thank you for creating the space for that. And I think मैं भी सोच रहा हूँ मैं रिफ्रेन करता था कंटेंट क्रिएशन से फ्रॉम अ पर्सनल अकाउंट मे बी ना नेल्सन क्राउड अकाउंट ठीक है बट विद दिस जहाँ चाह है वहाँ राह है आई थिंक
Yes.
विशिंग एवरीवन अ हैप्पी न्यू ईयर 2026 आ जाएगा जब ये वीडियो
Oh
आएगी
yes, sir. Happy New Year to all
yes
the audience.
to everyone
To everyone.
to भैया behind the cameras thank you so much and thank you all